Hello, this is Pastor Carl Gallups. I have a word of advice for the Trump haters. To those who are mourning, screaming, crying, pillaging, accusing, rioting, panicking, destroying, attacking, cursing, ranting, and raving, and generally throwing silly and embarrassing temper tantrums because of the United States election results that resulted in Donald Trump being the next president of the United States, I have some sound advice for you. Take a breath and think. Think with me for just a moment. Everywhere Donald Trump went in this nation, every single place and every single time he drew electrified crowds in the tens of thousands. Hillary and Cain drew only hundreds of people, unless, of course, they had some star at the rally, and even then, they were only in the low thousands at the very most. And this was every time and everywhere they went, even the most liberal of states and cities across the nation. And the Hillary crowds were absolutely devoid of energy. How could that be? Ask yourself, why would that be? And at the end of the day, Donald Trump's landslide electoral college victory was historical. It was a resounding, crushing, debilitating defeat of Hillary Clinton, as well as a national repudiation of the Obama regime's overall political direction. It was also a repudiation of the media and Hollywood and the other leftist political elite. There really is no other sane and rational way to interpret it. Even many of the latest exit polls largely reflect this assessment. How could that be? Why would that be? The Democrat, leftist, communist, American-hating, Israel-hating, God-hating party is now in complete disarray. They are neutered, perhaps for decades. They are in the worst shape since the days of Reconstruction and the Civil War, which, by the way, was caused by a largely Democrat movement to hold on to the evil of slavery in the United States. As a result of this election, however, the Democrats are in the minority of state governors, U.S. House representatives, U.S. senators, and now, of course, the White House, which means they will soon be in the minority of seats on the federal courts, including the Supreme Court. This fact will set a more conservative, America-friendly agenda for the next couple of generations, even if a leftist again wins the White House 8 years from now. But how could that be, you ask? Why would that be? And here's the irony. The Democrats, while the election was in its final days, continually warned that if Trump won, there would be rioting in the streets, killing, hate crimes, and general national bedlam. First, I challenge anyone listening to this to produce any evidence that this described scenario has actually ever happened, ever, in U.S. history from the conservative side after a national election. Where is the evidence of this, for example, after the election of Barack Obama? Where are the videos of rioting in the streets, dragging people from their cars and beating them half to death, burning, pillaging, rioting? There are none. However, what we are observing right now across America is the exact opposite. It is the left that are killing, maiming, beating, burning, vandalizing, threatening, shooting police, and en masse calling for the assassination of the man who just won the White House. How can that be? Why would that be? Look at the election maps on the internet. The vast majority of the nation, especially the heartland, is painted red for conservative. That's how they voted. That's what they wanted. That's what we got. Donald Trump promised a wall on the border, tighter immigration security, a strengthened military, lower taxes, more jobs, the return of the rule of law, protection of our constitutional rights, the destruction of the abortion holocaust and protection of the unborn, respect for our police, the revamping of the failed Obamacare, and a return to the respect of our nation's Judeo-Christian foundation. And he won with a historical and landslide victory. How can that be? Why would that be? What message was sent to America and to the world? Are you starting to get the picture yet? The bottom line is this. You have finally seen what we, the people, America's heartland, have been telling you for the last 8 years. The vast majority of Americans did not agree with the utterly left, communist, Constitution-bashing, American-hating agenda that was continually being shoved down our throats by the White House, Congress, media, the courts, Hollywood, and the political pundit leftist sycophants. You have just watched America have its word, the same word it has been trying to communicate to the elites, but only falling on deaf ears. But now we, the people, finally had a chance to speak, and we had the powerful alternative media to support us. We said to Hillary and Obama, "You're fired." And we said to Donald Trump, "You're hired. Now get to work. Show us that you are for real." And now you know. You are not in the majority you were convinced you were in. You are not the powerful, undefeatable force you had been told you were. Everyone is not a winner. Everyone does not get a trophy simply for showing up. No one deserves the White House and the position of commander-in-chief just because they were a part of the political establishment and they had connections in Washington. Not in the real world, and the real world has just spoken. That's how it could be. That's why it could be. You will live. Calm down. The sun will come up in the morning and the birds will still be singing if you care to hear them sing. This world is in a mess. We have tons of work to do as a nation, as a people, as fellow citizens of the greatest nation the planet has ever known. Take a breath, come on board, get involved. If you so hate this nation, then please either learn to love it and help us defend it, or perhaps it's time for you to find another nation you can try and transform. We would rather you stay and let's work together to make America great. However, if you sincerely think America needs to be some kind of communist utopia, then we really would rather that you simply left us alone. In 2013, Barack Hussein Obama said these words to a joint session of Congress as Republicans were considering to try and force a government shutdown over budget issues. Obama said, "We won, you lost, get over it." Well, I will not be so crass as to invoke those same words upon you, but the stark truth of those words apply to this election cycle as well. Historically so, resoundingly so, unequivocally so, indisputably so. That's simply the plain truth of the matter. And by the way, Christians, believers in Jesus Christ, it's now time to make the church great again in America. Or shame on us for what's coming next if we don't. Thank you for listening. This is my insight. May the Lord bless you and keep you forever.